When Ibrahim Traoré unveiled his bold vision for Burkina Faso, no one expected the shockwaves it would send across the Western world. But with just 10 powerful projects, he didn't just defy expectations, he challenged centuries of Western dominance. He came to power with a mission, and within months the West was shaken. These are the 10 groundbreaking projects by Ibrahim Traoré that changed everything. When Ibrahim Traoré rose to power in Burkina Faso, many in the West dismissed him as just another military figure in fatigues. But what followed next caught everyone off guard. Traoré didn't just take charge. He launched a series of bold, unorthodox, and fiercely independent projects that directly challenged the influence of Western powers in the region. From economic transformation to cultural reclamation and military defiance, each move seemed carefully calculated to redefine Burkina Faso's identity and direction. It began with his ambitious agricultural self-sufficiency campaign. Instead of relying on Western food imports, Traoré redirected resources to empower local farmers, introduced community-led irrigation systems, and distributed unused land to young citizens. The result? A noticeable decrease in dependency on foreign food aid, a move that made international observers very uncomfortable. Then came his National Resource Reclamation Initiative. He ordered a sweeping audit of all mining contracts signed with foreign companies, especially those tied to gold, Burkina Faso's most valuable asset. Contracts deemed exploitative were either renegotiated or outright canceled. Western firms cried foul, but many African leaders watched closely and approvingly. Traoré didn't stop there. He turned toward military restructuring. Disillusioned with foreign military aid that came with strings attached, he instead formed regional coalitions and built community defense units that drew on local volunteers. This broke the traditional security dependency on the West, particularly France, and sent a strong signal: Burkina Faso would not be a puppet state. One of his most symbolic actions was the expulsion of foreign military bases. In a move that echoed globally, Traoré demanded the withdrawal of French troops, calling for an end to neo-colonial interference. This wasn't just about sovereignty, it was about resetting the rules of engagement with former colonial powers. In education, he launched a campaign to decolonize the curriculum, replacing foreign-imposed content with African history, culture, and revolutionary philosophy, with a focus on leaders like Thomas Sankara. It was a project of national pride and identity building, designed to raise a new generation with their roots firmly planted in African soil. Traoré also introduced a pan-African media network, aiming to counter Western narratives and give the Global South a voice unfiltered by foreign outlets. He believed the battle wasn't just physical, it was ideological. Economically, he shifted trade priorities, forging stronger alliances with non-Western countries such as Russia, Turkey, and China. These new deals were framed around mutual respect and fair terms, something often lacking in Western partnerships. Another shocking move was his Digital Sovereignty Act. Concerned about data exploitation, Traoré introduced regulations requiring all digital platforms operating in Burkina Faso to store user data locally and comply with national laws. Tech giants didn't like it, but it became a model for other nations. He also launched a youth empowerment and entrepreneurship fund, funded by reallocated military and administrative budgets. Thousands of young people began launching businesses, projects, and cooperatives, reducing emigration and injecting hope into local economies. Finally, he declared a West African Defense Alliance, separate from Western-led coalitions, advocating for a shared military front among nations like Mali, Niger, and Guinea, independent of NATO and French influence. Whether praised or feared, one thing is clear: Traoré's vision is rewriting the rules, and the world is watching.